Hi guys, we're finally back. I know it's been a really long time between videos this time, so I'll make sure to give a good tent tour hopefully. As always, just work and you know, life gets in the way. But also the tent has been, it's been so busy in here. There's been stuff growing over everything, and yeah, at the weekend I gave it a really good tidy. I think it's looking pretty good. Most of the plants are looking really good, really healthy. Um, and yes, so I wanted to do a video. We've got a few orchids out in flower as well. I know I tend towards the Nepenthes, but there are 3 orchids in here at the moment. One's just going over, but they look amazing. So I will add those in as we go around. Yeah, at the weekend I basically tidied up the top shelf. Let me spin you around. I tidied up this whole top shelf and trimmed a few bits back, took some vine cuttings of bits that were getting a bit too long, and we can see the orchids again at the back. They're getting a bit of light again, and although stuff is still on top of each other, it's not like it was. There was just everything was growing over everything. I could not see anything, and the real thing was a couple of weeks ago I noticed that I had rotted out a huge basil on my mammoth, this plant here. It had a lovely basil, probably as big as this main vine here, and where there were so many things all growing over each other here, I was blind watering with the watering can, and I was obviously getting it right into the crown of the basil, and it rotted. And so it was time. I needed to do a bit of a tidy up so I can now see the pots again for when I'm watering and bits like that. And it just looks a lot neater and tidier. You'll notice there's barely ever any dead pictures on the plants in here, or even half dead ones. I'm very OCD about stuff like that. I like it neat and tidy in a certain way. And it was getting so it wasn't really a pleasure to be in here. It was so many bits growing over each other. So now I'm a lot happier with the tent, and it is time to do a tour. So I'll babble about plants now rather than the actual tent and my life. So we will start on the right as we always do. We have got a load of orchids here. These are all the coryanthes, the bucket orchids. None of them flowering yet, but a lot of them have put out so many new growths since I got them. They were quite dehydrated, and was told that the leaves from transport would probably die off, but I barely lost any at all. I think I lost 2 leaves. So they're doing really well. They're all putting out new roots. I don't know if you can see them there, the big white roots. They've all put them out since getting in this care. I mean, this tent runs at 99% humidity nearly all the time, and it's definitely intermediate to warmer this time of year, going down to intermediate in the winter. So yeah, those sort of orchids, they're the ones I go for, the ones that like it warmer. And yeah, they're settling well. More orchids down here. This is meant to be a Fletcherianum, but we'll see. It's probably a Phalaenopsis. This is Phalaenopsis next to it. We will go down. So you will have seen my last video. We had seed pods ripening on this Rocantlii here. Now, she ripened, and we got some incredible seeds off her. 6 months ripening, because she's pollinated in November, but it was worth the wait. I mean, the seeds from that were really chunky, really nice embryos. There were a few people that have bought these around the world, so hopefully they're successful. I can only do so much. They look like good viable seed, so fingers crossed for those, because it should be fantastic to have a load of these seedlings everywhere. But yeah, I believe they are the first Rocantlii horticulturally produced in the UK. So thank you to Matt for providing the pollen. And yeah, we did it. We made some nice seed. Right, we have got, let's move up. We have moved some plants around as well. So we have got Velosa Cross Rob. It's moved over to here because this Rob, the leaves got really bad through having too much light, and I think the same has happened to this. It just does not like the light, The leaves that were growing away from the light were doing far better. So I've moved it up to here. It's a lot shadier here, and I'm hoping the next few leaves will not present the same problem. And yeah, because I don't want to lose that. It is an absolutely incredible plant. Right, let me move up. So we have moved my biggest plant as well down to here for the time being. I don't know whether it'll stay here. It's my LVBVMV. Let me see if I can get the picture out. There we go. It is my lovely striped female. She was on the top shelf, but she was climbing over everything. As you can see, she is 6 foot tall now. And like I say, I'm not sure if she's going to stay there, but I don't know where else she'll go. So we'll have to see what happens with her. Next video, she'll be somewhere completely different, hanging down. She still has not produced a basil yet, but to be honest, the bird veitchii next to her was in exactly the same boat. It's 5 foot, and it only just produced its first basil. Well, actually, it produced 2 in the same go. So, and then it's producing these massive, massive leaves up here. That did flower last year. It is a male. Let's see if I can get one of these pictures out. It is on uppers. Absolutely stunning. This is Amorphophallus praini. It's about a 4 foot leaf now. The 2 titanums are dormant in there. So I have reduced the Amorphophallus down quite a lot because I just don't have the room in there for them all. Especially when they're growing 4 foot leaves like that. Right, let me squeeze myself around because this is very tight, this corner. Right, in this corner we have got, this is the LVBVMV, but the Grex free. So this is non-striped, this one. However, I'm so glad I kept this plant because this peristome is just absolutely incredible. This bottom bit here, it always folds in like that and does that weird little shape. I don't know why, but that's obviously just a trait on this one. There's the previous picture you can see. Just I want to use that for breeding in hopes that that trait will come into the offspring as well. Right, we've got in front, we have got the Jacquelineae lowii, or is it no, it is that way round because it's usually the reverse, but this is that way round. And this thing holds pictures forever. I mean, it's still got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one over here, 5, 6, and 7 just through there. And the oldest picture on there must be coming up to a year at least now, if not maybe over. And this plant is doing really, really well. Huge leaves coming on this. And since the last video, we have got a lovely basil. So yeah, very happy with that. I know Josh Echoes Plants on Insta. He really would love to have this in his collection, and it is definitely one of my favourite plants. We have got next to it, this is Edwardiana maxima, that way around. I thought it was the other. This is a really nice one. Really gets really, really dark inside, so it's nice contrast. Behind we have got, in fact, we'll do the one in front. So this is one of the earliest BE crosses, I believe. It's called Zuki, and it is Rafflesiana cross Sibuyanensis, or the reverse, one or the other. I just have it labelled as Suki, and that produces some lovely pictures. There's one just in there, you can see, just down here. And there is another huge picture. This is the problem when they all grow over each other. But there is another huge picture in there. Behind it we have got, there is a Norfiana here. I found that this did not like the light, so it's in the really shady part of the tent now, and the leaves are looking a lot better. Not producing as big a pictures, of course, but we'll see. Next to that we have got Tivii. Now this is the latest picture on it. Of course, when you get a really nice picture, it is almost essential to break the lid off them. It always happens on the best pictures. So there we go, Tivii, which is Maxima veitchii. I have actually made a remake of this using my Veitchii Supernova. So really excited for them, and they have germinated and very good germination. I'll show you those in a bit. What else have we got over here? Oh, I need to show you this. This is my other bird feature. This one is a lot more sort of bubblegum pink than the tall one I've just shown you. And let's hide in there. And it puts out these lovely pictures here. So yeah, that is one of the plants I got right near when I first started collecting. So I've had that one a long time now. Right, I'm gonna have to turn my body round. If you can only see how squished I am when I am in these videos, I have to wedge myself down that little gap, and I actually cannot turn in it. I have to come back out, turn and go back in. Right, so we'll move over, and we have the Rajavichii. This one has just put out a nice new picture there. It's actually really pink in colour, but it looks more peachy on the video, which is weird. And you can see that has got pictures absolutely everywhere. And it's just starting to put out these huge leaves again. So looking forward to some really big pictures on that again. Basically, these were the two basils. It killed off the main vine, which used to put out huge pictures. And yeah, we're just left with the two basils, but they're getting to a good size now. In the corner, we have got Ampullaria spotted, or tricolour, tri-spotted, I think they call it. And this is doing really well, especially now it's warmed up a little bit. There you go, catching moss. So yeah, Ampullaria tend to catch leaf litter to get their food. So I weirdly, I don't, tell me in the comments if this is wrong. It had some old leaves on it, and I cut them into pieces and put them in some of its own pictures, so it's eating itself, which is a bit weird, but you know, waste not, want not. So there you go, Ampullaria. We have got, seeing what we can get to really. We've got Boschiana here. In fact, that's not the best picture. We'll have a look at this one. That is the newest picture, Boschiana. I'm wanting this to flower. This thing is getting really big now. It did have a few issues with pests recently, which has been sprayed for. And yeah, then the new leaf is looking a lot better. So, aha, right, one of the orchids. So this is Bulbophyllum treshii. This over the last week has been growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and extending down. And to me, it reminds me of a squid. I don't know what you guys think of it, but I like these Bulbophyllum. Their flowers are so unusual and so different, so diverse. So yeah, I quite like it, but I'm sure that's not for everyone. It is a bit alien-like, isn't it? Right, this is Albo marginata. We've actually, the red form, we've moved this over the back. Oh yes, there's my rob leaves that are against the light. I will show you those in a second. So that is Albo marginata red. See, grown that flowered male last year, and it's now vining really well. Right, yes, on to Rob Cantley. So I mentioned that the little Rob that flowered, that's down on the shelves there, that one didn't like light either, and the two leaves that are facing the light here have done this. The leaves that are right in the middle, and yes, they have got light coming from the other way, but it's not as close. They are looking a lot nicer, and the leaves on the basil down there are looking absolutely fine. I have found Rob just to really not like light, so that is something to bear in mind if you're keeping it and you're getting those. It might not be a light issue, but I think it is, because it seems strange that it's on the leaves that are closest to the light, and it's happened on both my plants. And as soon as I moved that other one into the shade, it is looking so much better. I've not had any burn on any of the leaves since. So, you know, you make your own mind up, and maybe some of the veterans that have been growing them longer will correct me or agree. I only go on my observations. You know, I've been keeping these for 4 years now, and I've always worked with plants, but only been keeping these for 4 years, and I'm in here all the time, so I observe and take it all in, and that's what I have observed, is that their leaves in the light, they just burn. Right, anyway, we will move on to what we got, Neb VMV. It popped out a small picture actually here because it flowered the tail end of last year. Have made some crosses with Andy Kitson, so hopefully they should be quite nice. I think the seeds are on the way back to me. If not, why haven't you sent them, Andy? So yeah, hopefully do some nice crosses with that. But it has obviously put out a lot smaller pictures and leaves. They're just starting to get back to a decent size now. We have got at the front here, this is a Viking Cross Ampullaria cross Raff Squat Red. And this one puts out the most ridiculously squat pictures. I mean, look at that. When they come out as well, they are heavily striped. You can see it's got the striping now, but they darken right up after a few days. But yeah, that's doing really, really well. Next to it, we have got, this is a Rafflesiana JB Cross Thick Lip. This is a cross that Carnivoro did. And I bought a seed pod and I grew them out. And 2 of the plants turned out to be variegated. This one a lot more so. You can see the variegation on those leaves and the new leaf. This one a lot more so. The other one, it's harder to see on, but it is definitely variegated. We've got Pavilii just in here. It seems to have found its groove. Now, the only thing I've done differently is that I did find out that these guys really do not like too much water. And when I found that out, I've started watering it every other watering to the others. And sure enough, it has improved. So I'm thinking that is the difference. So it's definitely kept on the drier side now and definitely improving on what it was looking like. Right up the top here, we have got, I showed you the rod leaves. I didn't actually show you the rod picture. So this one is actually a female as well. A lot bigger plant. It has flowered before I purchased the plant, but quite a way down. You can just see on the stem, no, below the tag, it's there. That is the old flower spike, and it is a female. So if that flowers, we'll have another load of rock crosses, hopefully. Right, what else have we got? So you'll notice we've got orchids everywhere. Lots and lots of seeds. These are, one second. These are the Maxima Cross Veitchii Supernova, the new tivii that I've made. So given how squat Supernova is and how fat and tubby it is, I think that'll be a nice cross. And as you can see, really nice germination. Yeah, very, very happy with those. We'll move down to the Veitchii shelf. This is, I'm sure, some people's favourites. It is one of mine as well. So this is a Borneo Exotics 3734. And this is the newest picture on it. It is starting to get really squat and tubby now. And obviously, as you can see, very nicely striped. It has got a basil. I don't get many basils on the Veitchii. That said, Supernova has now got one on it, but all of these, you know, are at the size where I'd expect to be getting some basils, and I've not got any on any of them except for this one. So we have got another 3734 behind it, and that's just opened that fresh picture there. We've got all sorts of little Veitchii crosses here. Veitchii Barrio Candy cross Veitchii Barrio Candy. Veitchii Barrio Candy Red cross Veitchii Candy Dreams. So yeah, some really nice seedlings there. And then we move on to the black lip crosses, which are these sort of ones here. And some of them are just putting on their new pictures now. Got that one there. That one's really, really nice and stripy. And then my favourite out of these is this one here. It creates such ridging on its peristome. I absolutely love it. That is my favourite one out of the black lips so far. Whilst I've got that out, I'll show you the other ones. They all sort of go that bronzy colour. Oh, right, we have got here, this is Veitchii, it's a 4 Veitchii cross from Carnivoro. So there's 2 Veitchii in both parents. And this is my variegated one. It's actually very, very variegated. The camera, for some reason, it's showing it, but it's not picking up quite as much as it should do. And that is a striped one, so hopefully that continues. I mean, I know it's variegated because it's done it for about 8 to 10 leaves in a row now, but it's just starting to get some decent size. It's a shame it doesn't show any variegation on the actual pictures themselves, but I guess not all of them do that. And then these ones here in this corner, these are all the Squat 1 Cross Veitchii Supernova. Now, I know a lot of you have had these plants off me and others that have grown them out, and I think you'll agree this is just a fantastic cross made by Tom Bennett at Tom's Carnivores, and it's produced, I mean, this is the latest picture on this one. Ridged, flared, tubby, squat, you know, what else do you want in, and stripy, what else do you want in a Veitchii? Another one just here. Very, very nice. And then some of these over the back, the striping is absolutely fantastic. I do apologise, I am sort of rushing the video a little bit because it is very, very humid and muggy in here. And also the tent is quite hard to get around at the moment. So I do apologise if it's not the best video in the world, but hopefully it just gives you a bit of an update on how the collection's going. Because I like to do these videos for a sort of diary of how I'm doing with them as well. Looking back at, you know, when I first started, how the tents have changed and how they've progressed, and just see how I'm doing with the plants, how I've got better, how I've got worse. You know, it just shows me how I can improve as well. So I like to do these, you know, for you guys, but I also like to have them as a video to show me my progress. Right, we'll move round to this one and then we'll do that middle bit last. So this is Ventricosa clipiata. Oh my word, that shouldn't have been a tongue twister, should it? But it was. Now, I love clipiata. It's my second favourite species behind Velosa. And I know some people really don't like Ventricosa. No names mentioned, Mark. But I think this works. I really like this cross. I can see both parents in it clearly. More vent in the leaves than the clip, of course, but I actually really like the pictures on it. So yeah, usually I don't like clip crosses because I like clip to be pure, but yeah, that is. Also, a few of these plants have actually had, there's quite a lot of repotting been done. There's a lot that needed some fresh substrate, so a lot of them have killed pitchers off because I've done that and I've fed them as well. So there are a few like this, the Flava tenuis, which doesn't have any pitchers, unfortunately. This is one of my Northiana Cross Veitchii seedlings. These have just hit a point and then hit their stride. Absolutely huge leaf jumps on them all. I must admit I have been a lot better with the feeding this year, and I have I've made sure I fed every month this year. Whereas last year, you know, I'd do one, then I'd miss two, then I'd do two in a row. You know, they get, I think, used to a routine, and I've done it every month, and we've had some incredible leaf jumps in here since doing that. So if you're not feeding, I'd recommend feeding. You know, start off weaker and then increase it as you go, so you don't get any negative effects. I still get a few on some plants, and I now just don't feed them, or I feed them less every other. You'll get used to your collection. Right, next to it we have got, this is a Mollis Lowii, or the reverse. It is Lowii cross Mollis. Very, very stripy. Can't wait till the next leaves come out and pop some pictures on that. That's a recent purchase. We have got Argentii down here. Lovely little pictures. We'll move up to the Clippiata shelf. Now, these really are getting a good size now. See, very, very nice size leaves on them. I mean, what is not to like about them? They are so, so unique. Very, very nice pictures formed. These have all had a repot though as well, so the pictures are starting to just look a little bit tired, all sort of at the same time, because the repotting was done 2 weeks ago. But in a few months' time, once they get their roots down into that new media, they'll look far better. We're getting some lovely new leaves. And at the back here, I mean, look at that. That is a circle, isn't it, that? Incredible. Move up to the top shelf here. Oh, here we go. This is a good one to put in. This is Platychila crossrod-cantlii. This is a plant that so many times as I was growing it up, this used to be down this shelf, just to confuse you, it's up here now. So many times as it was growing up, I considered selling it because these were the pictures I was getting, and although they're nice, I don't know, the shape on these inters are just very, very nice, and they're a lot more flared. So I can't wait till we get proper uppers on this. And it is just starting to vine. We've got a huge leaf on that. So, oh, well, we're over here. So this is another bulbophyllum. This is one of the other orchids I said was in flower. And this is bulbophyllum. I believe it's either pronounced cetaceum or cetaceum. Yeah, really, really strange flower on that once again. So the bulbophyllums run all the way around the back. There are a few hanging elsewhere as well, some of the miniatures, but most of them are at the back there. Right, so is that shelf done? We have got Rob Martyr at the back here, if I can get one out to show you. It's just hard to... There we go. That flowered female last year, and I have cut the main vine, and that is rooting. So hopefully we get that to root and someone can have a nice female Rob Martyr. Right, what else we got up here? So we have got Truncata Giant Cross Veitchii M. This is from EP. It would have been in my video in January, I'm sure, but probably only just putting out that picture. It has now put out a huge leaf here, and it's put out a nice pitch you can see down there. So I'm really hoping that's a good one. Next to it we have got, this is starting to vine as well, this huge plant now. This is Mirabilis Red Cross Veitchii. Very, very weird cross. Oh, don't fall down. Very, very weird cross, but I really like it. I love this speckling on the wings. Absolutely lovely plant. I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but when I took this off the shelf to clear out the other day, yeah, you can see them through there. Can you see all the roots? These are the roots coming through the bottom of this pot, because it is only in a 4-inch pot, and then it's rooted into the capillary matting that I use. So I've had to pull that out and then pop it back in, because everything on these top shelves at least moved off. Some went back to their original positions, but some, you know, moved slightly. But that had so many roots hanging out the bottom. Everyone tell me it needs a repot, it needs a repot. It is leaf jumping. Every leaf, it's putting a picture on every leaf. While it's happy like that, I'm not touching it. It can stay like that. I'll just adjust the water for it drying quicker because it's got less media. And yeah, that's all I do. You know, it'll tell me when it wants a bigger pot. So behind it, we have got the Maxima Wavy, just down here. Now, for the last 3-4 months since this picture opened, I've been smelling something sweet in the tent, which is strange because most of the bulbophyllums smell awful. But it was a really nice scent that was sort of honey, sugary, sweet, you know, lovely. And it turns out it's actually the nectar on this picture. It produces loads. I don't know if you can see it around the edge, but you can see it's actually dripped down the side of the plant there. But yeah, it's this plant. It smells absolutely lovely. And that plant as well has put out a huge basil. That's the second leaf on it, you can see through there. First leaf was titchy, but it's now really getting into its groove with that. And it also putting on huge leaves. It has really settled into the tent since it arrived about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. We've got Briggsana in the back there. I don't know if I can get one of these pictures out to show you. There we go. It's on uppers. That is a common, what we call a common greenhouse garden centre plant. However, it's probably my favourite garden centre cross, to be fair. I do like Miranda and stuff like that, but that one, I don't know, it can be quite variable depending on the parents used. We've got Veitchii cross Lowii here. This is a cutting from Tom Bennett at Tom's Carnivores. That's a cutting off of his Veitchii Lowii. Thank you very much for that. It is settled in nicely and it's producing exudate on the lid there. We've got a huge, I've just seen that, that's grown loads in the last couple of days. Look at this. New picture on Rafflesiana. This plant is, I love this plant. I love Rafflesiana anyway, but it produces huge pictures. One which is hidden down here. Let me see if I can get it out. No, it's on the other leaf, of course. I mean, look at that. Lovely huge Rafflesiana picture. That's hidden down there, but I think the next one might even beat it. And it is becoming a massive plant now. There aren't too many people in the UK that grow Rafflesiana or lowlands in general, to be honest. I know Kevin does, and a few others, but because they like it warmer, a lot of the serious growers in this country grow in a greenhouse, and it would be astronomical prices to heat your greenhouse to lowlands temperatures in the winter here in the UK. So many people don't do it unless they're completely dedicated to lowlands, or they grow in a house like I do. So yeah, there you go, Rafflesiana. What else have we got? That hasn't got any pictures on at the moment. That is a Hamata cross Sibuyanensis. It's starting to vine, so I'm hoping for a flower on that. It's not a cross you see every day. It's very weird, and the peristome on it is 2 feet and it is black, even darker than Hamata itself. It's glossy and shiny as well, shiny black, really nice. We have moved. This is Rob cross Aristo cross Spec, or is it the other way around? No, it is that way. Rob cross Aristo cross Spec. This used to be down on my left on one of the lower shelves, but it's getting so big now and it's getting so near the light that the leaves were getting a little bit burnt. So I've moved it up in hopes that we can sort that problem out. We've got a new picture here on Trunk Squat cross Nebularum. This is from EP, and we will notice that it is flowering. Of course it's a male. It is a male, but that's fine. That gives me pollen. If anyone wants any, just drop me a message on either on here or my Instagram, Pendas Plants, or my Facebook. So if you've got me on Facebook and you want pollen of this, you've got something nice that we can pop it on, just let me know. What else have we got? Oh, there is the third orchid that I said was flowering. Now this is just going over this one, but this is called it's a cross daisy chain cross purpureus, and I mean a few days ago when this was in its prime, it looks like a daisy, doesn't it? It is absolutely lovely. So that is the third one that's flowering now. Well, actually, we have got a fourth in flower, but I meant out of the bulbophyllums. This one is, oh, is it a Pleurophallis? Yeah, it's Pleurophallis sonderiana. Lovely little miniature, popping out loads of flowers. We have got spikes coming on others, like this one. It's popping a couple of spikes out now. Yeah, the miniatures are nice. They just don't take up much room, and you can just pop them on the front of everything. Right, let's move down. We've got 3 more shelves. This has actually been quite a quick video. Right, we have got Glandulifera. I say it's quite a quick video. I know the next 3 shelves have got a lot of plants on them. They've got more than the rest of the tent, so it might not end up being that short. This is Glandulifera. I mean, the pictures to me are nowhere near my favourite pictures. However, when you look at the hairs and the glands, those black dots everywhere, I absolutely love the actual plant. So there we go, Glandulifera. Behind that is Supernova. Supernova has moved down recently. When I did there's a picture from Supernova. You can see how big and fat and tubby that plant is. And it has got a basil. We're showing that well over here. So hoping for some really nice big pictures off of that, because it was a vine cutting. So I'm hoping the basil will produce huge leaves and really squat tubby pictures that I know it's capable of. In the back here we have got this is a Mollis crossfeaturi. This is, if anyone knows Aidan Vincent on Instagram, you will have seen his Mollis featuri. It's absolutely incredible. It's got such a different shape to all the others that I've seen. And so this is actually a basil from that. And you can kind of see just from the closed picture that's forming the shape. It has a really curved arched back, and that's doing really, really well. Aidan, I don't think you watch this, but if you do, there you go. That is the basil off of your plant. Over the back we've got Gothica. Now I'm pretty sure this was chopped down by the previous video. Probably a few videos actually, but if not, you'll have noticed that it was a 9-foot vine in some of my earlier videos. It has now been chopped back. It flowered a few times, and where's that picture? There it is. And this is Gothica. Quite correctly named, I think, for the colour of that. I think that is one of those plants that divides the room. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's absolutely lovely cross. But this is one of the plants that was on the top shelf and got the chop at the weekend. This is Viking Cross Ampullaria Black Miracle. It had a huge vine that was actually hitting the roof and bending and getting all sorts of distortion from growing into it. So I've chopped it down, and we'll just let these bits grow again. Behind it, this is, right, I'll get the tag out for this one because this is ridiculous, but you'll see why I want to tell you what it is. Oh, can't actually see all of it, but it's Rocco Exotica Boschiana, Veitchii Maxima Stenophylla, Lowii Rocco, I guess that's Veitchii again, cross Mollis. And I showed you that because when you see the picture on this, it is an incredible cross. There we go. It stays flared like that. That picture has actually only been open a few days. Absolutely incredible cross. One of my favourite plants in the tent, and it's not even been with me that long, and it's not even putting out big huge pictures like it was. So yeah, that is absolutely stunning. What else have we got? Bird Cross Campanulata. This is one of my oldest plants. I've had this right since the beginning, and it is a plant I always tell people it never fails to put out a nice picture. Fails to put out a picture that I can get to, but not fails at, it doesn't fail at putting out nice pictures. Absolute stunner of a cross. And that is a BE plant, that one. What else have we got over the back? We'll do the back ones first. We have got Ramaspina cross Vogelii. This is one I don't really show very often actually, but it was a bit more hidden. I say that, it's very hidden now, but Ramaspina Vogelii. Not my normal sort of picture. Oh, there's one right at the front here. Why did I show the hard to get to one? There you go. Then there's a couple of like winged hybrids. See the wings on the tendrils all winged? They're just starting to settle in. They took ages to settle into the tent. Right, we've got a really nice Peltata lodi here. Puts out these huge pictures. Very, very chunky as well. And it's just working on another one, which I know is going to be, I mean, look how fat that thing is. And the wings on it from the lodi. Right, we'll move over to this little one here. This is Tenuodon cross tenuis. I cut the main violet of this a few months back. And it creates these lovely little striped pictures that look quite like tenuis. Grab another one. And I have 4 cuttings of those that are rooted now, so if anyone in the UK is after one of those, then just let me know. So this is a cross done by Mark Griffin in the UK, and it is Veitchii cross platy. That's just had a repot, but it has just popped out this. This is about a week and a half after opening. When it first comes out, it's just got red stripes. Just red, you know, it's nice, but it's quite boring. And then over the next, like the coming week, they all start to go different colours. You get oranges, and another week on, some of those stripes will be black. So it puts out absolutely incredible pictures, but a couple of weeks after they first open. This is a new plant. It's getting over shipping, but it's put on a huge leaf here, and this is a Truncata Edwardsiana. It's about time I added one of those to my collection. So yeah, we've got a lovely picture there. Oh, don't break it now. Forming, and there we go. Give me a lovely picture on that. Oh, this one's hiding from us here. This is a tenuis peltata. Now I know a couple of people have bought these off me. I know Andy has one off me, and Scott, you have one as well. And it is, oh, it's a stunning cross, absolutely stunning cross. When that first comes out as well, before it goes darker, the striping is so nice. You can kind of see it still now, but when the first couple of weeks that that's out and it's not darkened up, absolutely stunning. Sorry, I'm sort of trying to hold the camera in place whilst popping this back in its own place. Right, so at the front here we have got Bellii Harryana. Really nice cross, and it has got a lovely basil. This basil's growing really fast as well, so I don't know if I have to chop the main vine at some point or not, but it seems okay at the moment. Right, I think that is that shelf done. Let's move down. We've got the last 2 shelves, although these are probably the 2 most crowded, like the amount of plants on them. So we've got, this is a cross from EP. This is Fenc cross Tib Giant, cross Ventricosa, cross Spath, cross Lowii, cross Trutsmardiensis. And this is a plant I got 18 months to 2 years ago. I would have thought with all those parents in it, it'd be very fast growing, but it's actually not. It is one of the slowest growers in here. However, I let it get away with that when it looks like this. I absolutely love the shape of that peristome. It's such a weird one because when it comes out it looks incredibly boring, and it takes about a week for all this ridging to settle, and then it goes to that shape and it just darkens up over time. Absolutely lovely plant. Right, these are going to be hard to get to, but I want to show you quite a lot of the ones on these shelves because these are the best in my opinion. We've got there is a Lowii Crosset there. There's a fresh one just here. Look at that. If you haven't got one of these, I question why you haven't, because they are absolutely incredible plants. This is, it's probably my favourite hybrid, like primary hybrid. My favourite, oh no, is it Alice? It might be Alyssa Petrana. No, this is my favourite. This is my favourite. I'm going with this. Lowii Fipiata is my favourite hybrid. There you go, I said it. I'm sure that'll change in a few months' time, but whilst this keeps putting out pictures like this, it's definitely gonna be my favourite. Over the back here, we have got, I know there's a good picture here, so whether I can get it into camera shot for you guys. That is Velosa Cross Veitchii. That's one of the plain peristomed ones, if you can say it's plain, looking like that. We have got the Veitchii Cross Platykyla Cross Veitchii Candy Dreams. These are from Tom's Carnivores. He did a cross with Dom's Candy Dreams, and they're just starting to really show what they can do. For a long time I kept them potted in Akadama mix, which was great to get them going to start with because it produced great roots, but I kept them in it a little bit longer than I should have, and I found that Veitchii crosses love a sphagnum mix. So now I've put them in the sphagnum mix, they are starting to jump and create better pictures. So we have got, in fact I'll show you the other one of them at the moment. This is the other Candy Dreams cross. If I can get it, it's there, it's on that leaf. Again, that's not as fresh now, but when it comes out and it's fresh, it looks amazing. But there you go, there's the leaf jump on it since putting it in sphagnum. We've got lots of little peltatas. They have liked the increase in temperature recently with those huge leaf jumps, and I assume the food as well. Like I say, we are getting, you see these leaf jumps? We are getting huge leaf jumps absolutely everywhere in the tent. Yeah, I mean, there we go. See them all here. I mean, look at that. But yeah, the feeding definitely has helped. Right, we've got a trunk pelt Edwardsiana. That is a fairly fresh picture, about 2 weeks old. Seems to be keeping the striping and not darkening up too much. The one in front has put out a huge leaf jump, but I think that has made the previous picture then come out as a small picture. However, still very nice. We've got one of the, this is one of the LVB's Cross Veitchii Barrio Candy Red. This is my really flared one. That's the newest picture on that. Right, this is a cross. If anyone in the UK has bought a cross, what I numbered as cross number 21, I know a few of you have, which is LVB Cross Veitchii the Wave Cross Song of Melancholy Cross Boschiana. This is a carnivoro cross, and I kept 3 plants back from this cross, and they're the 3 biggest, and this is one of them, which I'm sure most of you agree is absolutely stunning. Shame the body isn't darker, but I mean, that striping is absolutely glorious. And then we've got another one over here, and what I've noticed is just the striping on them all is really good. So it's just one of those crosses, and I'll show you the third one whilst we're, yeah, it's this one down here. So there we go. if anyone's got those crosses, that's what you have to look forward to. All right, I think that brings us to the last shelf. Probably, well, it's got the most plants on, definitely, and it has some of the most interesting crosses on it as well. So let's have a good look at this one. So we've got, in the back corner here, we have got Ventricosa cross Edwardsiana. Now I've got 3 of these plants, these 3 here, but they're all slightly different, using different vents and different eddies as well. So this is the first one. Now the second one, this one goes really, really dark inside, almost purple, purpley black. There you go. Oh, you can see it there. Look at that purple. That is my favourite out of the 3, purely because of that inside. Absolutely stunning. And then the third one actually has a different shape of the peristome to the other 2. It has a lot more ridging, which is nice, but it's so light in the middle again. I really do. I prefer that real dark purple inside. In between them all, we have a mollis. This is one of the BCP clones. Sort of tricolour top. That I know they turn into absolute stunners when they're older. So it's nice enough now, but once that's bigger, that is going to be a plant to marvel at. I'm just going to show you this whole tray actually, because this one is one of my favourites. The way the moss all grows over everything, and this is, so the moss I use, I always think if you're going to be growing these plants, grow them in the best possible. And I found Best Grow moss to be the best. It's just so nice and fluffy. And this is the dried stuff you get. It has come back to life, no problem in the tent. And what I do is when it gets too much and it's overgrowing, you know, a plant like this, just rip off a load off the top like that, push the rest back in, and then just bung it in between your pots, and it all just starts to grow. And that's all I've done from this in the last few months, and it's just growing absolutely everywhere now. But I really like that look. Anyway, back to these plants. So we've got this is an LVB cross LVB VMV. This is one I've grown from seed, and this one is going to be really, really nice. So waiting for that to get some decent size. We've got Macrophylla here. This has just opened a very nice picture there, and it's got a really nice one there. This plant, this is one of the BCP clones. I have had this since November, December 2024, so around a year and a half, and it was an inch wide. It is one of the fastest growing plants in this tent, which is very, very strange because this tent runs at intermediate, and to be honest, the macros should not even like it, but it does. It seems to love it in here. So yeah, that clone apparently likes a little bit more warmth. We've got little tenuous Harry here. That was going backwards. I had it in Akadama Kanuma mix, and since I've popped it back into a Sphagnum mix, it is doing a lot better. That was only repotted a couple of months ago, so yeah, it's just starting to find its way now. At the front here, we've got a couple of Jeremiah Harris's crosses, Raja Mirror Cross Velosa, and then a couple of different ones here, which are Veitchii Mirror Velosa. They were from Ben. Thank you, Ben, for those. They're looking pretty good. We've got a Loei Mulu. Problem is, with having this moss everywhere, you can't see the pictures. There we go. Because they grow under the moss, a lot of these. Little Vicinampullaria cross. And in the corner here, we have got Spectabilis Giant Cross Velosa. Focus. Why would that not focus? Focus on this one then. Oh my word. Nope, doesn't want to focus on that plant for some reason. But that is now starting to find its way as well, feeding. This are the leaves it's put on since I fed it. So, and you can see on the plants here that the jumps are crazy. In fact, I'll show you in a second one of the plants. It's the most ridiculous jump you'll ever see. We've got some little Paloenensis cross Trosmadiensis there. They were some seeds from Mark that have grown out. Raja cross Hariana. In fact, I'm just going to wipe the lens. Sorry, guys. I think the humidity is fogging this up, which is probably why it's not focusing. Is that any better? A little bit. We've then got, these are Mirabilis globosa cross Ampullaria Black Miracle cross Velosa. So a very, very weird cross, but these are just starting to show their squat and toothy pictures now. And they're going along the front there. We've got Jambang cross Harry, just there. I wonder if I go to, oh, is that any better? Oh, there we go. Yes, that's better for these smaller ones. Right, Jambang cross Harry there. Next to it, we've got Velosa cross Veitchii. I don't know if that's, oh, it's not open yet. It's not open. The previous one should be, but it's hidden. That's a small plant anyway, that one. I did actually show you the Velosa Veitchii higher up. Let me go back to them now. These are the Velosa Veitchii. Really, really toothy. Anyway, right, back down to here. We have got a stripy Velosa Veitchii. Just down there. That's now, again, I've popped that into sphagnum mix and it is doing far better. So anything with Veitchii, and get them in sphagnum mixes. We've got Trosmadiensis here. This is the one of the BCP ones. Absolutely loving it here at the moment, and as you can see, yeah, jumping and jumping. We have got, oh right, okay, so I've got to show you this one. This one is Velosa cross Lowii. How nice is that? And that is offered, this is the plant here. It's jumping, as you can see, really jumping, and it has a basil. I was shocked. I pulled the pot out a couple of months ago. I just see these leaves. I didn't know, didn't even know it was there. And I was taking photos of the plant. I just saw these leaves out the side. And it wasn't until I looked at the picture again that I processed that it had got a basil. I didn't expect it to at that sort of size, but yeah, there we go. I mean, it is a BCP one, so I think they're tissue culture. And quite a lot of them do produce basils. So what else have we got here? We have got, so this is Insignis cross Edwardsiana. So this is one picture here. This is the previous picture. And then it is just working on a lovely new one there. So yeah, looking very forward to seeing that. We missed out actually over here. Talangensis cross Edwardsiana. Look at that. Really like that. Right, so I said there was a ridiculous leaf jump. So this is a, well, it's meant to be a Burblowii. I don't think it is, but it's meant to be a Burblowii. But it's producing leaves like this, and I started feeding it, and it produced this. And then the most recent leaf, it produced this. I mean, it obviously likes the food. Obviously likes the food, because that, as you can see, is a ridiculous leaf jump. I've got some photos of it, and it just looks so silly. It's honestly ridiculous. We've got Eddies. They're producing some nice leaf jumps. Some really nice pictures in there of that one. This one here produces very toothy pictures. There we go. At the back here we've got, this is one of the carnivoro plants I'm growing. I don't know what the cross was. I didn't have many of these actually come up. So that's a cross. Spaff Spec, Summer of Melancholy, cross Loei Vicio Boschiana. And I had 3, I believe, germinated. And they were all really flared like this, but only one was striped. And it's flared like that, but it stays like that because there is the older pictures and they get really dark, almost black on the patterning on the picture. Down the bottom we've got a little Loei Epiphyata, and then we've got Hamata crossvalosa. Focus. Hamata cross Eddie. In fact, I'm going to get this plant out to show you 1 second. This one deserves to be shown. This is ridiculous. Right, and I found this was the quickest grower. The Hamata Harry has now taken over. There you go. Hamata Edwardsiana. It is so ridiculously toothy. Okay, and then next to it we have got Hamata Harryana, and that has taken over from the Eddie. The Eddie was fastest to start with. The Velosa is definitely the slowest out of the 3 by a long way. If I show you all 3, they were the same size. There we go. We've got Burb. This is actually the one that I have up for sale at the moment. Then we have a Velosa cross Vici and a little Eddie. And finally, I'm going to finish with this one. This is Loei Edwardsiana from Wistuba. Let me move that out. Oh, I've got that in the way now. Focus. There we go, Loei cross Edwardsiana. Stripy, toothy, absolutely fantastic cross. I think that is, it is a fairly quick tour. Like I say, it's very muggy and humid in here at the moment. But yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea of how the collection is doing, where the collection's going. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed having an update on it all, and I will try and get another one done. You can just see the tent again. I will try and get another one done and keep on top better, and I always promise that. But yeah, there we go. I mean, I do feel like the tent has changed a lot in those 4 months, so I wanted to get that documented. And I know there are people that do ask me for videos, so I hope you all enjoyed, and until the next one, see you later.